Hi, and welcome to another edition of Mike Finds Things, where I go and find cool old records out in the wild and bring them to you guys. Usually we go to estate sales, thrift stores, things like that. This week was super dismal. I only found records at one estate sale yesterday, and it was like 10 records. So I'm going to do another one of my videos where I go into my old part of my record collection that was in storage. A lot of stuff I picked up at thrift stores, yard sales, places like that back in the 90s. Some of them still have the original price tags from the thrift stores from back then. You got to remember that was back when people were kind of just getting rid of vinyl. They were moving over to CD. I'd say I started collecting in the late 80s from thrift stores, and of course through high school, and then through my time in the Navy in the 90s. As always, I remind you, please make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 1,000. I think we're like super close to 1,000 subscribers. So I can get some monetization, so I can pay for some of my gas to go buy some more records to bring you for the channel. And also leave some comments about some of these records. So there's a little bit of everything, some stuff I'm going to answer for if you watched my other videos in this series. I realize these aren't as popular as some of my other videos, but I still find there's still some interesting stuff in here. And I do know there's things that are missing that probably got stolen over the years too. I always give that, but it's kind of a dive into what I was finding at thrift stores mostly in the 90s. So we're going to start off this week. We've got N, O, P, and then Q are letters. Not a lot of Q's. Most of them are taken up by one band. I'm sure you could already guess which band that is. So we're going to do 4 letters today. There's still a pretty good chunk of records, so let's get into it. We're going to start off with the N's. We got Willie Nelson, and Willie and his family live. I did not go through these, by the way, beforehand, so I just kind of pulled them off the wall. They were in storage for many years when I had my shop. What does this one have? I can't even read this thing. I probably should have done it a bit. Oh, by the way, across the street, I was going to film this earlier, and literally on cue, when I was about to hit record, we got a leaf blower. So at least he waited till, at least he started it before I hit the record button. So I did have to wait. So it's actually a 2-album set. It's got a gatefold. It's like a live album, so it's kind of like a retrospective of Willie Nelson's career. So there we go. Found that one at a thrift store. Probably, I'm gonna guess, probably in the 90s is probably about right. So we're gonna go to the next one. Johnny Nash, I Can See Clearly Now, and I'm also gonna discuss some of the values if there's anything that's actually got some value. Probably not a high value record, but Johnny Nash. It's got, of course, it's got I Can See Clearly Now on it. So I probably bought it because back then I listened to a lot of oldies radio, back when oldies radio was still a thing. And of course they would play I Can See Clearly Now and some of his other songs on the local oldie stations. Moving into some more, a little bit of new wave, an artist that I saw live last year and I'm going to see again live next year at Cruel World here in Pasadena. Last year they played Darker Waves. Now we got airplane or helicopter. I got a helicopter coming now. We got New Order. This one is doesn't say New Order on it, but it's Brotherhood. It's a Bizarre Love Triangle on it. It does have some water damage. That is how I got it, because I remember that's actually how I got it. So, but even back in the 90s, you didn't find a lot of New Order at thrift stores. So, New Order, so we'll be seeing them live, I'll assume with my daughter again. She also loves New Order as well. Something I do mention when I saw an artist live. I almost saw, I was at a car club camp out once, and Willie Nelson was playing nearby, and I could actually hear Willie Nelson, so that doesn't really count though. Next one I have is a gatefold. It is the Nitty, and it has a sticker from 95 cents from a thrift store. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band on a gatefold. Let's see, I don't even remember. Well, I don't remember buying, so there you go. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band on a gatefold. No idea what the value is on this one. There you go. Mr. Bojangle. I don't remember all their hits. So I'll be honest with you. I'd have probably just bought it on a whim or something. All right, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. Here's one we actually have found. One time I went to the local thrift store I like to go to, which has been kind of dry lately. I haven't found anything there in a while. But we found a bunch of them from this artist. So this is an older one that I bought back in the 90s. This is Ted Nugent. There you go. So I got a bunch of Ted Nugents I bought at a, like I said, I even have duplicates that I got that in that score. Because he wanted another copy. This was one of the Clark records. I'm guessing I must have bought a bunch of records from this Clark guy who wrote on all his records. It's like another version of that one that's not as good a shape. What do we got here? Ted Nugent, Great Gonzos. Apparently I paid $2.99 for this, or somebody did in '93, in September of '93. The best of Ted Nugent, Great Gonzos. I know I've got other copies of this. And then he wrote some notes. He wrote it on the plastic, now he wrote it on the album. Or it's got Cat Scratch Fever and all that on there. Worth something, probably worth something, because people do like Ted Nugent. A lot of band guys like Ted Nugent. Same with like a 70s theme, another Clark record, must have got from that same guy. Ohio Players. So it's got Love Roller Coaster on it. That's one everybody knows. So this one's got the gatefold. Oh, she's kind of naked on the gatefold, so we won't. I don't know, just to please YouTube, we won't bring you that gatefold, I guess. Ohio Players. That's the next. Another Ohio Players. This one's Fire. Is this another Clark record? Because it's got like stuff written on it, like it's from a radio station. Ohio Players with Fire. This one actually has a gatefold. Yeah, it's covered up though, so we can bring you the gatefold. So. I don't know, we had that one gatefold that was very questionable as to whether YouTube, I don't know how many videos ago that was. Here's one I paid $1 for. I know this is worth way more than $1 now. An artist I kind of saw live a couple weeks ago. I saw the former members of without the famous lead singer. It is Oingo Boingo. I paid $1 for it. That's an old Salvation Army tags. I remember what they look like. This is the Only a Lad EP. And they also did a 10-inch version of this, which I think I gave it to my daughter. And I had a couple copies of the 10-inch of this. That one's the 12-inch. There, Oingo Boingo. Good for your soul on this one. Nothing Bad Ever Happens is on this one. What's the other one everybody would know? There you go. Gallo Oingo Boingo. I'm in SoCal. They're out of SoCal, so they used to play Oingo Boingo all the time on K-Rock. So they've always been popular here. This one is Nothing to Fear, Oingo Boingo. This one was 95 cents. Oingo Boingo stuff is like really collectible now because I'm guessing because they were very popular in Southern California. Not sure about as much as in the rest of the country, but I used to find Oingo Boingo pretty regularly at the thrift store locally. So it's got like Gray Matter on it, Private Life's on this one, Wild Sex is on this one, so stuff like that. So big Oingo Boingo fan. Unfortunately, they're not going to tour with Danny Elfman probably ever again. So I have found other Danny Elfman and Oingo Boingo in the other videos, the stuff I currently find. Of course, you're going to run into this one if you have a bunch of Oingo Boingo. It's Dead Man's Party. We just missed Halloween on this one. And Dia de los Muertos. With the Dia de los Muertos themed album cover. Just Another Day. Of course, Dead Man's Party is on this one. Weird Science is on this one, too. Remember the movie Weird Science? So we got Dead Man's Party. We have Boingo. It's Oingo Boingo Boingo. So it's got We Close Our Eyes, Not My Slave, stuff like that on it. Oingo Boingo. So you want to break out. I'm pretty sure I gave that 10-inch EP. Those go for some money now, I think, because they're a little strange, but I used to find those every once in a while. And they always get mixed in weird with records because they're 10-inch instead of 12-inch. They're more like the size of a 78. We got Oingo Boingo, Only a Lad. This one's got Little Girls on it, which was probably the most controversial song. If you know why, you know why. Only a Lads, of course, on this one. Stuff like that. I gotta think of the ones that you guys would know. Most people would know Oingo Boingo. And because you wanted another copy, I got another copy that I paid $1 for at Salvation Army at one point. So I got 2 copies of Only a Lad. I should probably give one of those to my daughter. Continuing with the O's. We got the OJs. A little bit different. Backstabbers. It's also got Love Train on it. Stuff like that. I just like finding old soul stuff. Even back then I did. Here we go. We got Tubular Bells, Mike Oldfield. For all you Exorcist fans, I guess. So I probably found that at a thrift store many years ago. Tubular Bells, aka The Exorcist. Roy Orbison's Greatest Hits. Always been a big Roy Orbison fan. This one's on Monument, so it's actually in pretty good shape too, and it's a stereo copy. So kind of neat to find Roy Orbison there. Really hope we don't have too much noise problems today. I filmed on the other day. There was a fire around the corner from here the other day, unfortunately. Took out an ADU completely, and of course there was a lot of fire and police in the area at that point. I can't talk today. More of Roy Orbison's Greatest Hits. I actually put a couch on the curb. I bought a couch at an estate sale when I was supposed to be buying records, and so my old couch was destroyed, so I have a large item pickup from the city for tomorrow, so I had to put it on the curb. Roy Orbison's Greatest Hits. It's Over, Blue Bayou, stuff like that. Mean Women Blues. More of Roy. So I got both Roy Orbison's Greatest Hits on Monument. I'm sure they did other compilations of Roy Orbison's Greatest Hits. We have another group I'm going to see, which I've seen before live. I saw them at Darker Waves last year. And I have tickets to see them at the Greek Theater in next June, which was supposed to be this year, but it got postponed. And they're also playing Darker Waves, or they're also playing Cruel World next May here in Pasadena. But I've already told my daughter if it overlaps with another band, we have to see the other band that we want to see because we already have tickets to see them in a long show. This one was $2 at one point. It is Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, 12-inch single telegraph and radio waves. And this was actually a promotional copy. There's telegraph, and it's got the little stamp for a promotional copy. So you used to find a lot of these in LA. So Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. So Donny, in fact, they put on a great show. In fact, at Darker Waves, I think they were probably one of my favorite acts there. And then they gave them a really short set, which I wasn't really happy about, which is why I wanted to buy tickets for them doing a full set. Which was supposed to I was supposed to have already gone to see them, I think last month. In September, I was supposed to go see them, and then it got postponed till next June. And it'll be the night before I film one of my big Pomona videos, so that's going to be interesting. Here's one I got an answer for. It's Donny Osmond, My Best to You. So, golly knows why I was thinking when I bought this. We'll just say it came in a record lot, and we'll just say that. So I don't remember buying. I don't know why I would buy a Donny Osmond record, but it might have came in a record lot. Here's one of the Clark records. This is Clark. So Clark wrote his name on this one. Pablo Cruz, Rolls Away. This one's got You're Out to Lose on it. Remember those? Hey, Yacht Rock's huge right now, so gotta love Pablo Cruz. And because you wanted another copy that I paid 29 cents for, apparently, or somebody did at Aaron's, here's another copy. Yeah, I think that came out of somebody's collection. This is Robert Palmer, Pride. This one was 99 cents at one point. That's a Robert Palmer. It's weird going through records that I absolutely do not remember buying back in the day or remember owning. Like I said, I try not to go through the ones that are in the. A lot of them I remember having, but this one was Robert Palmer, Riptide. This is the one that Addicted to Love. Probably the one song everybody remembers that video. And this is a promotional copy, so there's it's got the stamp for the. It was sent out as a lot of times they're not promotional or they don't have white labels or anything. They're just stamped. But they weren't supposed to be sold. Of course, a lot of them got given away as gifts, or radio stations would give them away as prizes and stuff. Here's one. I don't know if you're gonna know what it is, but it has a Goodwill sticker for 95 cents on it. It is Tropical Magic Corla Pandit at the pipe organ. This is probably one of my surf and turf records from when I used to do a surf and cocktail and exotica show on a local radio station in Washington State. And this one is on Fantasy Records. I'm not going to pull it out. This thing's this has got the old cardboard jacket, and it's minty. It's not even separating like they always do. So Corla Pandit. Something a bit different. This might have been out of a record lot because it's got the stickers on there for a DJ. The Partridge Family album. Why not? Everybody remembers that show. The Partridge Family. Then they inspired the Brady Bunch to do their own little knockoff band. If you remember that. Partridge Family's greatest hits. This was, I must have bought it. It says Goodwill 99 cents. Partridge Family. Okay, because you wanted more Partridge Family. This was 99 cents as well. The Partridge Family Notebook. One of those fantastic Partridge Family songs. I don't know. I think it's because they would come up all the time. Okay, we're out of the Partridge Family. We got Les Paul and Trio on tops, so probably a later release. They start. All these artists, when their popularity would dwindle, would wind up on tops or something, or one of those labels. So Les Paul album on tops. Clearly, I don't remember buying that. The complete Tom Paxton recorded live with a return hole in it. Okay, on Elektra. So, and it's got the gatefold. It's all serious. Okay, let's go there. All right. What else are we getting into? Oh, here's a group I did see live, and I will admit that I saw live with my ex-wife. It's the Pet Shop Boys, Please. So with West End Girls. I actually bought the single of West End Girls when it was a current hit way back in the 80s. So it's also got Opportunities. What else does it have that everybody knows? Of course, the track listing is all written weird. But Pet Shop Boys, Please. And the jacket's a little dirty because it's a white jacket, so it's just going to attract dirt. Okay, we're going to some folky music. We got Peter, Paul, and Mary, album 1700. This one, to this day, pops up at thrift stores and estate sales regularly. I would say this is a $1 or $2 record. It's got the record falling out of the cardboard jacket anyway. Peter, Paul, and Mary stuff pops up all the time. It's one of those groups. That and let's see, Mamas and Papas too. They pop up all the time. Here's Peter, Paul, and Mary in concert. Someone paid $2 for this at Aaron's. I don't remember. I only remember going to Aaron's once or twice. So, like I said, I think I bought out somebody's collection that shopped at Aaron's a lot. It does have a gatefold. Yeah, I'm not gonna. It's not a bad one. It's just kind of a whatever. They're running to something at the concert. Okay, Peter, Paul, and Mary. Here's a group I saw, or here's somebody I saw live many years ago in the 90s when I was in high school. And unfortunately, I did not get to see him again, and he passed. So I always wanted to go see him again, but I did not get that chance. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Damn the Torpedoes. Always been a big Tom Petty fan. So it's got Refugee, Here Comes My Girl. Those are the ones everybody. Don't Do Me Like That's on this one. Those are probably the ones everybody knows from Tom Petty. This one's pretty minty too. So it kind of explains why I have that. Explains why I have a second copy too. I may have another copy somewhere in here as well. And Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Southern Accents. I'm really surprised they don't have more Tom Petty in here. It might have gotten stolen. This one, Don't Come Around Here No More. That's one everybody knows on this one. Everybody remembers that video. Southern Accents, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. I think his last concert was in Pasadena as well, at the Rose Bowl. Everything's at the Rose Bowl. You ever notice? It's all at the Rose Bowl. You know where they have the Rose Bowl? At the Rose Bowl. No, actually, I went to the Rose Bowl at the Rose Bowl once. So, that's a true story. Best of Wilson Pickett on Atlantic. You know these songs. Great to have them on vinyl. Of course, I have most of these probably on 45 as well. Best of Wilson Pickett. That's a copy I bought many years ago. Here's one. Oh, I remember buying. Actually, do remember buying this. This wasn't that long ago. This was probably about 10 years ago. I bought this one at a thrift store in Simi Valley. I was with my friend because sometimes you do remember when you bought these. And it's not an album you come across very often of this group. It is Pink Floyd with Metal. Early Pink Floyd. So more like a psychedelic Pink Floyd. I believe this was a later pressing. I remember looking at it before. It's like probably after Pink Floyd got bigger, and then they would still press them. I think it's this style Capitol. So it's like, yeah, it's a later pressing, but still cool to find a copy of Pink Floyd Metal. Not one of the usual ones you find from Pink Floyd, such as wish you were here. Oh man, that was actually the picture was actually taken on the Warner Brothers lot, and there's like people will like line, they could access the lot, will like line up the picture, and the guy was actually wearing a suit that was on fire. That wasn't like trickery. That was like a real thing, and he actually got burned apparently. It's like a whole thing. That's what has a little damage on the sleeve, but on the jacket. But there you go, Pink Floyd. Oh, and the jackets, it needs to be glued back together. These are the ones where you can actually glue them. It's not like the cardboard ones where once they're broken, you're done. Pink Floyd, The Final Cut. So I did have a roommate when I was in the Navy that was really into Pink Floyd. That's all he would listen to, and for a while I couldn't listen to Pink Floyd after that. So I was like, dude, it's enough Pink Floyd already. I like Pink Floyd, but it gets a little weird after a while. The Pink Floyd, Final Cut. So those artists that a lot of the state sales you go to, they'll put aside and say they want more money for it because it's Pink Floyd. But I always say with stuff like this, they pressed a lot of copies of it. That's why they're a popular group. They pressed a lot of copies. And speaking of an album that they pressed a lot of copies of, you know what it is. It's Dark Side. I have to explain this one to you. Throw this one on and, just mellow out for a while. There you go, Dark Side. I probably don't have to read the track listing. You already know what's on this one. And because you wanted another copy of Dark Side, we have another copy of Dark Side that I paid $2.25 for. There you go. Real of the Dark Side album. That was like on the charts for like 1 billion weeks or something. It was like something insane. You wanted more Pink Floyd, but not Dark Side? How about Animals? I think I found a copy of Animals like in one of my videos recently too, probably in the last year. I think I couldn't remember if I had Animals or not already, but I still grabbed it. Of course, it's got the pig, which they did the shot, but then they wound up having to do it artistically because the pig flew away. It's like pretty famous, like that. When they did the shot for the album cover, the pig flew away, and it was like a big fiasco. They wound up actually just putting it on their airbrush or whatever they did back then. I'm sure you can look it up. It'll tell you exactly how they did it. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Because you want something completely different from Pink Floyd, we got Gene Pitney, Only Love Can Break a Heart. There you go. And because you wanted more Gene Pitney, who doesn't? This is Gene Pitney. This is a 2-record set of Gene Pitney. I'm not going to, the cardboard's coming apart. Because you wanted the maximum amount of Gene Pitney in 1-2 album set. That was it. Here's an album I did buy new. This was like a hit. It was like on alternative radio a little bit back then. It was just a fun song, and it had like kind of a 60s groove to it. And since then, I've found like Japanese like promos of this at another thrift store that I gave my daughter on CD though, on CD, not on LP. So it's the Pizzicato 5 Made in the USA album. This is the one with Twiggy Twiggy. If you don't know, if you know, you know. It's a fun song. Look up the video. I'm serious. I think this was out of print too. So when I looked up the CD, like it's like I don't think you can even find it on iTunes. When I did it, you couldn't find it on iTunes. Maybe they've changed that since. But Twiggy Twiggy, and it was on, I believe, Matador Records, which I believe was owned by like Madonna or something. But I bought this new at some point. It's from '94, so it's just a fun song. In fact, they used to play at the mod clubs locally, like this, because it had that '60s sound to it. I don't know how to describe the song. It sounds like a James Bond theme, which there's another song called James Bond on there. In fact, I think one of the versions is called like Twiggy Twiggy versus James Bond. It sounds like a Bond theme, like a spy movie theme. Just look it up. You'll figure it out later. Do it after you watch the rest of the video, though. Robert Plant, Pictures at 11. You know Robert Plant from his other popular group, Led Zeppelin. I guess the sale I went to yesterday. Okay, this is one. Usually you can look in the pictures and you can kind of tell where the records are going to be by, when they have the picture of the records. So I went right to the living room because it looked like that's where they were. No, they moved to a bedroom. So I was one of the first people in. So I was late. So I was second to get to the records. And they pulled in through the outdoor with the paper bag wrapper still on it. So I was kind of angry about that. But there you go. There you go. Robert Plant solo album. Yay, we got gardening going on. At least it's down the streets. The other one was across the street earlier. I can't do it tomorrow. Tomorrow's trash day, so we'd have trash trucks up and down the street all day. Couldn't do it yesterday. I usually try to use a week in advance now. Yesterday was Veterans Day, so I had to go to that one sale, and then I had to go pick up my daughter, and then we went and got my free meal because I'm a veteran. 6 years Navy. Robert Plant. Shaken and Stirred. I'm not going to stop it because it's kind of far away, so it shouldn't be too bad. Besides, we're already on a roll here. Robert Plant solo. Plimsolls, Somewhere at Once. This is the one with what's the one? It's the one with A Million Miles Away. I just want to make sure that's like the one Plimsoll song everybody remembers. Plimsolls. Actually, I have another stack of records I got to get to after this one to finish this one off. A 12-inch single. Oh, either I paid $2 or somebody else did. I don't think I would have paid $2 for this, but maybe I did. I don't remember. Pointer Sisters. I'm so excited. 12-inch single promotional copy. And do not play this side. This is a silent groove to improve the molding of your pressing. It's got a silent groove. Is it like really a groove? Let's see. It's like a blank side. It doesn't look like a groove, though. There you go. Pointer Sisters, promo 12-inch. Okay, moving on to the next one. What do we have here? I can't see it. This is the Polecats. Make a Circuit with You LP version and the Rockabilly dub on a 12-inch single. And then it's on the other side, it's got the club mix of Make a Circuit with You. The Polecats. So 80s new wave 12-inch single with dance remixes. Gotta love it. Well, when we got to the P's, we were going to see this artist. We always got to have the Police. It's Ghost in the Machine. There's got Spirits of the Material World. Demolition Man's on this one. What's the one, everybody? Rehumanize Yourself. Everyone knows that one. Stuff like that. It is open. It has the cellophane on it, but it is an open copy. A lot of people would just slit the side so it would keep the album cover. We have Police Synchronicity. Probably one of their bigger albums. Got Synchronicity. Synchronicity 1. Let's see here. What's everybody? Synchronicity 2, everybody knows. Every Breath You Take. King of Pain, Wrapped Around Your Finger. All that stuff everybody loves by the Police. The Police. Outlandos D'Amore. In fact, I found a Police greatest hits that went for pretty good money a few months back. I couldn't think of all the Police albums off the top of my head. I think this was the one I couldn't think of. Outlandos de Amor. This one's got Roxanne on it. So lonely. Can't say I'm losing you. Stuff like that. Next one. Police. Zenyatta Mondatta. Got that one. Don't Stand So Close to Me is on this one. What's the other one? I usually just read the ones everybody would know. Carrying a Coal Mine. Everybody remembers that one. Da-do-do-do-da-da-da-da. Stuff like that. I love the Police. This one still has a sticker from whatever store it was sold new at, and I can't read the price. $8.49 apparently. It was sold new way back in the day. The Police, another copy of Synchronicity. Alright, so next one we got here is the Power Station. I got this one for $1.99, or somebody did. Power Station was Andy Taylor, John Taylor from Duran Duran with Robert Palmer and Tony Thompson. Kind of like a, it's always like listed as like a sort of like a almost a Duran Duran side project. This one is it just has plastic on it, so I'm gonna say it's not still sealed. And it was originally $7.99, I guess new probably, because there's a $7.99 sticker on it still as well. So the Power Station, you still hear that one a lot, like on if you listen to Sirius, like First Wave, you still hear that one. Oh, here's one that's out of order. Zenyatta Mondatta, another copy of that from the Police. So that was in the wrong spot. Oops. I've actually found a few that were in the wrong spot somehow. Another copy of that. So we did have more Police. Oops. And then another copy of the Power Station. There you go. So those are way out of order. Well, whatever. Here we go. We got a, I don't know, it's like a Mambo, but it's like Exotica Mambo. It is Perez Prado, the king of the Mambo, with his exotic suite of the Americas and 6 other Prado sound spectaculars. You know, that album. So there you go. I'm guessing this was a surf and turf one I used to play back then. So, pretty good shape. RCA Victor. So I could see high fidelity, not a stereo copy. I think then they probably have a stereo copy of that. Here we go. We got a very popular artist we've had on the channel before. How Great Art Thou is sung by Elvis. So one of Elvis's gospel albums. This one also has Crying in the Chapel on it. So by request in this album features Crying in the Chapel. That Elvis gospel record. Because you wanted more Elvis, we got Elvis in concert. This one's from '77. I believe is when he passed. And it's got the great gatefold of the king himself, Elvis Presley. It has, I'm not going to go through all the hits. It's a 2-album set, so you know it's chock full of like Elvis hits. We're not going to go into all those. Another group, there's one you don't really, this is like one of theirs you don't come across as much. The Pretenders extended play. And someone bought it at Aaron's for $2 at one point. So it's Message of Love, Talk of the Town, and Precious is on this one. Precious recorded live. It's kind of neat. I have to give that one to my daughter. I got my daughter into the Pretenders. We have found Pretenders on the channel before. I got Pretenders 2. Right, we got gardening going on the next block now. But you can hear it from here. Great. I think we should have a day where there's just no gardening so I can film videos. That'd be great. I got another copy of Pretenders 2. And we got the first Pretenders album, which we found in the past as well, and I've given copies to my daughter. In fact, I found a minty copy of this recently. Tattoo Love Boys is on this one. Kid, Brass and Pocket, Mystery Achievement, stuff like that. Okay, still in the P's, we got the best of Billy Preston. And it does have his hits. It will go around in circles, stuff like that. Nothing from Nothing, of course, Space Race. Billy Preston. And when I saw Eric Clapton live years ago, Billy Preston was playing with Eric Clapton. Yeah, this is probably the 90s, I'm guessing. Another one we found before, and I always say my dad worked on the movie. He was production manager on the movie. It is Purple Rain. It's like it originally sold for $6.99. And it has the hype sticker with the cellophane. Purple Rain, Prince and the Revolution. There's what the hype sticker looks like. You don't see the hype stickers too often. I'll hold that for a second. So we have found other copies of this in the past. When it was new, I did have it on cassette many years ago. And I've got the 12-inch single of When Doves Cry from Prince. I thought I had more Prince than that, but I guess that's all I have in this one. And maybe in some of my... I also have later records that like I said, I want to take these down, reorganize everything, and realphabetize everything, and then figure out what I'm going to sell. And here's a group we all know. Well, we know they're one hit in the U.S. It is, can't imagine they did a lot of copies of this one, because this is more like a 90s hit. The Proclaimers, Sunshine on Leith, and of course it has the year hit, I'm Gonna Be 500 Miles, the one everybody remembers. This was actually from 88. I seem to remember it was like an earlier record, then it didn't become a hit in the U.S. until like the 90s, when it was used on the Benny and June soundtrack. I'm surprised I know that, but I do. Pseudo Echo, Love and Adventure. This one has Funky Town on it. That's their version of Funky Town. Of course, it was originally done by Lip Sync, and then this is more like a new wave version of Funky Town. We got the Psych Furs, Talk, Talk, Talk. This one's got Pretty in Pink on it. Got a little Psych Furs. Another copy of Psych Furs, Talk, Talk, Talk. And a different Psych Furs. We got Forever Now Psych Furs. I love the psychedelic furs. This one's got Love My Ways, probably the one everybody knows on that one. And we got Public Image Limited. First issue. I did see Public Image Limited at Cruel World a few years ago. So Johnny Lyde, aka Johnny Rotten. We got Pure Prairie League Dance. Another one I don't remember buying. Okay. All right, now we're in the queues, so you know what we're going to be seeing. Just guess what group we're going to see a lot of in the queues. Okay, you already know it. It is Queen with One Vision. From the original motion picture soundtrack Iron Eagle. It's like a 12-inch, probably a promotional single, I would guess. There you go, 12-inch single, Blurred Vision by Queen. Okay. Because you wanted more Queen, because that's all we're going to really see in the queues, let's face it. Unless there's like a Stacy Q album or something. Queen, Hot Space. I don't think there is one there. There you go. This one's got Under Pressure with David Bowie on it as well. You wanted more Queen. We got Queen. It's got Bicycle Race, Fat Bottom Girls. Good Lord, this one everybody knows. One's called Jazz. And yeah, we're still continuing with the queues with more Queen. Sheer Heart Attack. This one was sold at Aaron's. I must have bought somebody's records out that bought a bunch of stuff at Aaron's. It's got Killer Queen on it. Good Lord. You find a lot of Queen out in the wild. Obviously, people still want it because if you're getting into records, they're going to want, you know, the bigger groups. Queen is one of the bigger groups. So it's a group that remains popular today. Of course, we had the movie a few years ago of Bohemian Rhapsody. So it still remains to be popular. I always like Queen, though. Queen and David Bowie, Under Pressure 12-inch single. That's very cool. It's one of those groups that'll just never, you know, it's always going to be popular. My kid even likes Queen, so she had a friend she's hanging up the street, and she'd go over her house, and they listen to Queen, then she started, like, getting really into Queen. So I'll probably give her a lot of these. Queen the Works. Probably give her my duplicates I have. So it's got Radio Gaga. I remember when they did that. Queen. I remember growing up, my friend had the Flash Gordon album as well. I don't think I have that one. I probably do. Actually, I think I do somewhere. Queen, News of the World, one of their bigger albums. So the crazy fold-out artwork. You know the artwork. Ever remember that Family Guy episode? Or okay, if you do, you do. We're not gonna get into it. Queen, the game. And guess what the last album of the Q's is? That's right. It is another copy of Queen, the game. This one's got two different variations, though. This one's kind of shiny. This one's got like a flat silver going. So a couple variations. This one has, of course, has another one, Bites the Dust. Crazy Thing God Love, stuff like that. This one was $2.98 at Aaron's at one point for somebody. So that's what I got. We got through 4 letters today. Hopefully I find some more records this week, stuff that is good for the channel. That would be fantastic. I do have some filming on Saturday. For some reason, all the estate sale companies in my local area have been just doing their sales on Saturdays, which means I can't get to them because I have to film for my other channel, which is my name, Mike Frankovich. As I mentioned in the past, there is a sale that looks pretty good on Friday locally, so I'm hoping I find some stuff there. I did find some records the other day. It's nothing like spectacular where I could make like a whole video out of them. It was like 10 records, and it was stuff you kind of, a couple cool soundtracks, but nothing like super crazy rare or majorly interesting. But I am always out on the lookout for stuff. If not, I'll do a video on the jukeboxes. People keep asking me to do a video on my jukeboxes. But I wanted to get out some of the, because once I finish these letters, I can start organizing everything. That's one reason why I've been more pushing to do the letters every couple of videos. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Still trying to hit 1,000. Leave some comments, and until next time, I'll be seeing you.